Mic check.
Mic's good.
All right. All right, here we go. Fire storyboard.
Which one are we doing first? I put a placeholder there to separate the two out.
All right, I think we're gonna start probably. Should we jump in right after the ISIS thing? We'll jump in from April 8th. Yeah, the Xmas in DC, bro. We're gonna start at 1100, okay? So that's the Mark Zuckerberg, right? Do we have that picture for the how much the politicians received?
You said 1100?
1100. So, numerous. I'll probably make it where we can just take these links or whatever and view them. You'll see. It'll be cool. Because I'm putting the picture up right now for the report. Or was that a spreadsheet? I think it was a fat spreadsheet. I don't know how I'm going to put that in here. I'm not finding it. Well, whatever. We'll get to it. If somebody has that picture, I think Stormfact has it. The file of all the politicians' contributions they received from Mark Zuckerberg, and we'll light this on fire real quick.
Hopefully she's on.
She's on. She's just muted up. All right, here we go. Public notice. This is for the intro video. Public notice. All content, including but not limited to text, links, code, and imagery found on this website are a matter of evidentiary lawful public record and constitute evidence and testimony. Any infringement or suppression of the site or its content in any way or any time is presumed in law as an actionable obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and or tampering with evidence. If such acts are made by those on behalf of a state or governmental body, then it also becomes an act of actionable official misconduct and abuse of office. Such an act is willing acceptance of all criminal liability, nullifying any perceived contract and immunity of office such that the perpetrator may be required to forfeit personal property. And we're going to jump right in here at 1100. So Q drop 1100. Xmas in DC. Who is arranging the private meetings? Mark Zuckerberg, MZ. Campaign contribution promises. FB, Facebook. Donations since 4/2/18. Fresh round. R's targeted. Censorship. Anti-R equals more dollars. They're talking about Republicans and how Trump hate is big money. How to mask. MZ personal donations. Once again, that's Mark Zuckerberg. Shellco it's probably some kind of parent corporation where we have Eric Schmidt, being Google's CEO, which owns Google and all the other stuff. Recent stock dump, I think it's $40 billion worth of stocks he sold right before which caused the crash, kind of. Avoid Facebook, public disclosure, ? Track congressional intake, in parentheses, reported. Keep open, in parentheses, 6+ months. And he's asking us to do that like we did the list of CEOs that resigned. Loud with findings, retweet how DC swamp works. So he wants us to go to Twitter war and be very loud and expose all of this corruption and how they work. Money talks, drain the swamp. How do politicians access campaign contributions for personal use? The con, Q, boom. He's talking about how just like it's illegal for sitting politicians to receive money from outside governments, it's also somehow illegal to be using, campaign funds basically for anything they want, which somehow they found a loophole around, which there's an article on about how these politicians can access campaign funds well after for any cause that they like to. It's basically a slush fund for them. And that's that post. And he, sorry, I didn't let anybody else get in there. Sorry.
Oh, I think when he's talking about that using campaign funds, what they do is so they set up like what do you call them now? Like just normal like civilian companies, and they like launder the money or use their like civilian companies to do projects and whatnot, and then they pay themselves that way by because they can pretty much write invoices for whatever price they want, and then the government pays for it. Like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep, and they use these PACs too, these PAC donations.
Exactly. That's exactly how they do it right there. Boom. Hit the nail on the head. So the PAC donations is basically like a trust that they create, right, with the campaign funds, and that's how they are able to turn it into slush funds. Once it's in the PAC, and we have a lot of politicians, examples of them, creating these PACs for, anywhere like $70,000 to over $400,000, and they're just, willy-nilly slush funds wherever they want to spend some money. So he says, follow the family, reread the drops, Q, in response to the post we just read. And then the next one is also a response, and it says, people have the power. Don't forget how to play. Together you are strong. Facebook, violation of your privacy. Facebook actively tracking you. Facebook reading your private messages. Facebook censoring, in parentheses, anti-conservative. More will drop. We have it all. Class action lawsuits are effective. Global at Jack. You're next. What is Jack's secret Twitter handle? Dummy accounts to talk. What you see is limited. Think emails. Loretta Lynch, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Hussein, etc. Q. That's huge. Boom. So we know old stories about Facebook, being able to market to you directly based on what it hears through your microphone, right? But they can actively track you, and that's through the permissions that you give them. So they're reading your private messages too. I don't think that there's a permission you have to give them to do that, but that's pretty messed up, right?
Well, we had also found that Facebook you don't even need to have a Facebook account. They can still track you through your mobile device.
Yep, we were about to get to that Q drop. But also, let's talk about how Facebook is the one that's being, in the spotlight right now with Mark Zuckerberg going to Congress, right? And he did that little lookup of all their little personality profiles and stuff off of his software and data purge or, gathering. It's pretty interesting. And he donated pretty much across the board to all the sitting, representatives. And so he's also just the center of it right now. But Jack is next. And we know that Twitter has extreme censorship. And I've seen it really on Facebook too. So I can't wait for this.
I think it might be important to note that, as Dick was just talking about Zuckerberg, he was in London, England, last week and for the Cambridge Analytica thing. So this is a worldwide thing going on.
Worldwide for sure. And then so when Anon says, not mine, no Facebook, winky face. And then guess what Q says? Q says, you are being tracked. No Facebook account required. This is bigger than you think. Agencies attached. Q. That's a scary boom. So he says, there's Anon that's trying to break it down, right? And he says, what the WTF, what is embedded in Android operating system? And then he says, in response to this, right? ThinkBridge, Goog, which is Google, of course, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, central algorithm. The stage had to be set, Q. So that's us when we're raising hell on Twitter talking about the algorithm and how Q already said that we have the algorithm, right? Snowden gave it to us. We have the subcontractor. Well, he said sub, but we have it. We have it. So we just had to raise enough hell, just like we did with the release memo, right? Those Russian bots, to get enough, people motivated enough, and blowing them up enough to make some change, right? Cool, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, somebody else want to read, bro? We at 105 or 1105.
Yeah, I'll read. Class action lawsuits are very effective. 2 billion people, global, scale, regulation, or kill. People have the power to decide.
Q.
Yes.
What do you guys think? Which one would you go with? Regulate or kill?
Kill it.
About, the bridge, right? Get rid of that crap.
We're getting basically the opportunity with these class action lawsuits and the uproar that we're causing to either regulate Facebook and let them live or to kill them. And I think we should let them live because Stormfag made a good point earlier about one of the things that they don't fear is death because it lets them reincarnate, right? And if they just kind of die withering in a freaking hole in a cell and some little solitary confinement, that'd be a much better way to treat these people. The one thing that we all need is human interaction, right? If we are left alone solitary confinement for long enough, we go crazy. It's just fact.
Yeah, but if you're a liberal, then it would actually be a benefit to be alone as opposed to kind of swimming and marinating with a bunch of other leftists.
Yeah, but would also initiate the darkening of the soul. Basically, the fragmentation of one's current worldview to the point that there's nothing left. Like, you're forced to accept reality or you shatter.
Yeah, basically, it totally warps all of your thoughts completely. You lose sight, like you lose perspective on yourself and your surroundings. So we go into the next one, right? You want to read 1106?
Yeah, sure. All right, we got 1106. Syria. Hold until confirm. Military assets on the ground locked out of GZ. Israel strike harmed ability to prove events. Clown report must be verified. All caps. Troop unwind to still, all caps, occur. Have faith. Trust POTUS. Q.
Boom.
Boom. This goes to the chemical attacks that they're trying to blame it on Israel.
So the thing that we do know is there was a chemical gas attack, right? And there were missiles launched at the exact same place to burn up the evidence. So I think that's about all we officially know right now because Q says right in the next message, there's an anon that says, weird that you can't get eyes on that. Suspect as fuck. And then Q says satellite imagery, plus EITS are not definitive. Q, And somebody knows what EITS is, right?
Eyes in the sky, flex boom.
Boom. And then we go to we'll cover the whole ISIS topic in another video because we have that down pretty pat, right, with the McStain connection and all that good stuff. So we're going to keep on trudging along real quick into 1108, where we see the Drudge Report cover for Iran threat to restart nukes. Like clockwork, you have been prepared. Q. This is, I think, where we need to start getting ahead of the media because we've known that a while ago. We've known Korea was uniting and denuclearizing, weeks ago? Months ago? No, not a month ago, right? But before the Olympics, or at the beginning of the Olympics, let's say. And for us, almost the same amount of time we've known about Iran, right? Iran's next. So we should have been, raising hell because either the media is not going to talk to it, or if they ever mention it, they're going to get to it so late that it's going to be uncredible because people are going to know, hey, we drop in the truth here first. Boom. So that'll be coming out soon. We'll be working on a video here coming out with, the other future predictions that are from Q and our take on them. Somebody want to get 1109, please?
Yes, there's a Twitter from Donald Trump, and it says, CA targeted. How often does POTUS RT weekly address? April showers. Q. So this is a retweet of Trump's weekly address, and it's
the Democrats
not characteristic of him to retweet his weekly address.
Oh, yeah, sorry, bro. Go for it. I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish it. I'll read for you, bro. I got the tweet up.
No, you're good. I was done.
It says the Democrats are not doing what's right for our country. I will not rest until we have secured our borders and restored the rule of law. Boom.
Is 1109 future proven past? It says CA targeted how and April. So vertically it spells cha. And isn't that T in Chinese?
Cannot confirm.
Yeah, I'm not clear on that one.
But I know that we just shut down the Arizona border, right, with Representative, or I think it's Senator Flake, right, Jeff Flake, and who else is in that Shiffy district? It's not Schiff, it's McStain. McStain's there, right, and they have a protected funnel of drugs, guns, kids, other, illegals, all sorts of good stuff, right? And that's no longer. Trump went down there and dropped the hammer on him, and it's all coming out. Flake, even I just saw an interview earlier with him making some bold ass, anti-Trump shit, and then recanting like a little, with his tail between his legs. It's pretty funny. He was all choking on himself, and brings us into our next, which was 1110. Are our problems Q? Anybody want to touch that one? Oh, but I was going to say that California is next. Exactly. That's what he says. California targeted. A little face melted. How often does Post retweet weekly address? April showers. But CA is next, right? So CA is doing the same thing with this sanctuary city bullcrap and all that other good stuff. Did something just come out about Rod Rosenstein, though?
I'm looking for that right now.
What's with the spaces between the lines of 1111?
You know what I think that is? I saw it in one spot where there were periods. I guess it is period on the end, but periods before. How many periods does that all add up to? I think that's what the message is. But real quick then, I know Rod Rosenstein is running into some problems here. I think something just came out about him. We'll get back to that as soon as it gets pulled up. But he also has some family that are SS. He has his dad is, what's his name again? Heimler or something? Heimler or something like that? I don't know.
Well, Himmler was Hitler's SS, he was very high up in the SS. I think he might have been like the head honcho in the SS or second in charge. So that's Himmler. I don't know if that's the same Himmler you're talking about, but it's not a very common name.
Yeah, his name was something like that. Pretty sure. It's either that or it's something very, very close. But his sister is the CDC head, or was. I think she might have been the one that resigned even. But yeah, she was there for a while. And yeah, we all know about these people with they married for love, they married for power, not love, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, and Himmler was the one that kind of pushed Hitler into the Aryan race brotherhood kind of bullshit. He was blonde hair, blue eyes, yeah, and he was very insane. Yeah.
So, read 111, yeah.
Yep, says forgot to post this along with original post. April A. Killbox, IG report, Sessions public attack, RR problems, seals broken, Killbox A arrests. Why was Huber made public? Why now? Everything has meaning. Killbox A, Awan, Tarmac, Iran, NK, U1, FBI, DOJ, Mueller, election integrity, immigration bill, border, wall, military start, big month, Q. And then Q says, amazing coincidence, plus military start / wall. You have more than you know. Reason we are here. All caps, more, Q.
Boom. Yeah, that's huge. He talks about so much right here, right? April is going to be arrest. All these indictments are going to be unsealed. Huber was made public. I think something about it came out like that Trump wasn't the suspect of the investigation anymore. Came out before it was supposed to, and it kind of forced their hand a little bit. But the IG report's coming out. Seals are broken, right? Tarmac meeting's coming out. Iran is going to get situated. North Korea, Uranium One's coming out. The corruption at FOB and FBI and DOJ. The Mueller investigation is going to blow up. Election integrity is going to come up into question. I bet. The immigration bill is going to happen. The border's already happening. Getting secured, and the wall is already happening. Military started already. Big month. We already know that, right? So then amazing coincidence that the military starts in the wall, right? That's from the omnibus. And you have more than you know, and that's the reason we're here more, right? So that's the reason we're going to be here more too. Boom. So 1, 1, 1, 2. POTUS said they broke in, is what Ananon says. And then he says they broke in during the fire distraction Q. Boom. So I think we haven't got to the actual article yet, but we'll get there, and then we'll get into the whole fire situation. So the next one is 1:13. If somebody wants to 11:13.
Sure. And Anonymous says, did Anons ever figure out what Q meant with the, quote, baby on floor, hands in mouth, the start, end quote? Was this Syria FF? Question, false flag. Q responds, finally, chemicals, learn our comms, Q.
Boom. So we got the picture for that, and it's what's the name of that place? If anybody has it up, I dropped it in another channel. but it's essentially got the baby with the on the floor with its hands in his mouth, and they're talking about the start, and it's basically one thing that they tried to do to make Trump look bad. As soon as he's announcing, the public pullout in Syria, they tried to launch a gas attack, which we were talking about earlier, and that happened. Was that today? Earlier or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. But they launched, and I guess it's allegedly Israel that launched these missiles afterwards that burned up all the evidence. But it's for this company, and I guess the company is either the supplier of the chemicals or something like that. It's pretty crazy. So that's probably a link right there, a lead that we need to further beat down. If anybody wants to help join us, that'd be great. 1114, somebody? Boom, there's the picture, though. It's Finotex Chemical Limited, FCL. They got tabs for home, products, new proposal, press release, investor relations, order samples, global presence. Interesting. So if somebody wants to read 1114.
Yeah, I just see a call code on that one, so I'll read 115, but go ahead and do 114.
I got you. So it says, the connection is simply chlorine, not false flag. Keep in mind, and this is the anon, keep in mind, every crumb is not meant to be solved before the event. Some of the drops are things for anons to dig on and make connections with. Others are markers for future reference. And he's talking about future proofs past. Some drops are simply communication to the anons. What needs to be understood to appreciate what's going on here is the fact Q is basically creating a circular flow diagram that can be referenced and cross-checked with news releases. Q can't just disclose specifics about a situation or operation without violating security protocol. Instead, they drop questions and statements that lead to answers that can be understood once the subject becomes public. This provides the validation necessary for the public to believe the Great Awakening is legit. Disinformation and misdirection with Q is real. In other words, Q is pointing over here or over there, but really the focus is here, and only you get publicly until the news can go, or you can go back and understand. Think SA drops. All of this is accomplished without giving up specific details about the operation. It's quite genius. And then Q just replies to him basically. So 115, bro, and read the article for us, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, Ellie. And in parentheses, Cohen. Then there's a link to a New York Times article. All right, let me get to the top. Fire at Trump Tower kills one, police say. A 67-year-old man died after being injured in a fire at Trump Tower in Midtown Manhattan on Saturday, the police said. The man, Todd Brasner, was in his apartment on the 50th floor at the time of the fire, which was reported around 5:30 p.m. The police said he was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. 4 firefighters sustained injuries that were not life-threatening, Fire Commissioner Daniel A. Nigro said at a news conference. He said the apartment, a large unit that was heavily furnished, was, quote, virtually entirely on fire, end quote. Video footage showed flames bursting through broken windows. Neither President Trump nor his family was in the building, a Fifth Avenue skyscraper that is the calling card of his real estate business. The commissioner said firefighters went with the Secret Service to inspect the president's residence. While the rest of the building had a considerable amount of smoke, it was not immediately clear if it had reached Mr. Trump's unit, he said. More than 200 firefighters responded to the fire, the cause of which was unknown, the commissioner said. Mr. Trump, who was in Washington at the time, said on Twitter that the tower's construction helped confine the fire. Trump's tweet says, "Fire at Trump Tower is out, very confined, well-built building. Firemen and women did a great job. Thank you." The commissioner said the upper floors that are home to residences do not have fire sprinklers. It's a well-built building, he said. The building sure stood up quite well. While the building is subject around the clock to extra security by law enforcement. Extra fire protection happens only when the president is there, Commissioner Nigro said. The authorities restricted passers-by from the area directly in front of the tower, keeping them out of the street and on the sidewalk and on the opposite side of Fifth Avenue. Lalitha Mason, a 76-year-old resident, called it a very, very terrifying experience. When I saw the television, I thought we were finished, said Mrs. Masson, who lives on the 36th floor with her husband, Narinder, who is 79 and has Parkinson's disease. I started praying that this was our end. I called my oldest son and said goodbye to him, because the way it looked, everything was falling out the window, and it reminded me of 9/11. She said that she did not get any announcement about leaving, and that when she called the front desk, no one answered. Dennis Shields, a resident who said he lived on the 42nd floor, described the scene. You could smell the smoke, and you could hear things falling like through the vents, he said. It just smelled like sulfur. He said there were no orders to evacuate, but he received a text message from Mr. Trump's lawyer, Michael D. Cohen. Mr. Shields, who said he grew up with Mr. Cohen, continued. He said, "Are you in the building?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You better get out ASAP." That's how I knew to get out. Otherwise, I'd still be in there. In January, a small electrical fire broke out near the top of the building. Officials at the time indicated it was the building's heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. A firefighter was hurt by falling debris, and 2 civilians were injured.
Is that the end of the article? I'm not sure. Is that the end of the article, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So the first thing I think that stands out, right, is the fact that Cohen was in the building, right, and that he is the only one that basically saved Dennis Shields' life, right, because he texted him, hey, there's a fire. If you're here, get out. And that's what saved his life, because there was no evacuation warning or any kind of fire alarm. The sprinklers were not working or not installed. We haven't figured that out yet, but they were not working, and 200 firefighters had to go in there, right? So I guess that doesn't seem like too much, but they said that there was a smell of sulfur, which is really strange. That sounds really specific. If somebody wants to enlighten us on that part.
Yeah, so the firefighters said they smelled sulfur. And so if you're a firefighter, you know your smells, because there's a difference between all types of fires. You have your electrical fires, you have your chemical fires, and what have you. So as a firefighter, you learn about these different types of fires. You learn what it takes to make a fire, the chemical reaction that is needed for a fire. And you learn how to approach these different fires. So there's different ways to approach different fires. But in a building, it's kind of curious. The whole situation's curious because they should have sprinklers that set off when there's a fire in the building. The whole system is set up an alarm. And the alarm should automatically ring the police and ring the fire department to come to the building. All the meanwhile, that building should be evacuated by security and by maintenance personnel to get the people out of there. But there were reports that those people were not allowed to leave. They were told to stand in place. And the alarms were going off, but the sprinklers weren't going off. So it just kind of was fishy.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And there's a few other things, like the fact that it's an electrical fire, right? And yet it's smelling like sulfur. It's just really weird. And then the second time, right, that Trump's a fire in his building, and we kind of figured that he's been above board for a long time, and he's been doing some really quality jobs. That all of his things would be not only well made, like they said it was, as far as the damage that was done from the fire, but also that it would be well maintained, and so there's kind of definitely more of a fishy situation there. There was something else too. What was that at the beginning, bro?
And we also know about what happened.
The lawyer.
Sorry,
Oh, my bad. I think Not Sure was going to go for it about the lawyers' offices and everything being raided.
Go for it.
Right. Trump's lawyers, Mr. Cohen, who had contacted a childhood friend who lived in the Trump Tower and told him to get out. Nobody else had been given any warning, but this one man who was friends with Cohen had received a warning to evacuate.
Yeah, and we found out that basically his name's Dennis Brooks or Dennis Shields, and his girlfriend is like on a New York's Housewives, right? The Real Housewives of New York, and that he's a banker basically. So that's kind of interesting. But there was something towards the beginning. What was the first thing I said when we were talking about it earlier that kind of stuck out to me? Dang, kind of face melted.
How the FBI today had raided Cohen's offices and everything like that for the whole.
Exactly, over Stormy Daniels. They raided his office. Isn't that nuts? Coincidence? I think not.
There was also the fact that it was the firefighters and Secret Service had gone into Trump's office while the fire was going on.
Thank you, you freaking rock. That's exactly what it was. Why is the Secret Service there and going up to the Trump's, part where he's not even, is not even on fire? You know, what are they either planting or taking, you know?
Exactly, especially when the FBI is supposed to be in charge, right?
Sorry, one more time?
I'm sorry, I was talking about the raids. You were talking about the fire. My bad. All right, moving on.
All righty, cool. If there's something else that comes up, we'll get to it.
There definitely is a connection there between, was it the same lawyer whose office was raided over the Stormy Daniels nonsense?
Yes, sir. Trump's lawyer, bro. It's Cohen, yep.
And then he calls his friend to tell him to get out.
Yep.
The Trump Tower.
And so we can expect from this, mainstream media is going to push that. Oh, well, he called, they're going to push this whole thing.
Probably in a few days, maybe, if they get to it. So we got 116, right? Or 1116 is thank you, Z. Good start. China. CQ cancel. Q. And guess what he's talking about? Anybody got the want to read the article? I'll read it if not.
Yeah, go for it. I don't think I can crash him again.
All right, here we go. So, China's Embrace of Foreign Cars by Keith Bradshear. The first word, guess what? Chongqing, China, which is CQ. For more than a decade, Chinese automakers have been talking about starting large-scale exports to North America and Europe, promoting periodic worries in the West that companies like General Motors and Ford and Volkswagen might be crippled by Chinese competition the way they were by Japanese imports a generation ago. Now there are calls for protectionism, but from an unexpected direction. The biggest, most politically influential Chinese automakers. Multinational corporations are steadily clawing market share from Chinese brands in their home market. As a succession of global brands have pushed their way into China, the latest insurgent is Ford Motor, which is a joint venture based here in Chongqing and has nearly doubled its market share to 4.5% in the last 2 years by introducing new models and expanding output, selling more than 100,000 cars and light truck in March for the first time in a single month. Ford plans to double production again in the coming year by opening 2 more assembly plants and one of the world's largest automatic transmission factories. Chinese consumers increasingly favor American brands, which have a reputation for safety, youth, and international flair. The domestic brands have tended to lag in surveys of initial quality and engineering, although they are starting to close the gap. And long-term reliability, they are far behind and falling even further. Rising affluence has left consumers reluctant to accept cheaper Spartan models from domestic manufacturers. The domestic brands have been further hurt by poor crash test results for some Chinese design models and a series of food safety scandals. What? That have dented public confidence in Chinese regulations, favoring foreign brands. Chinese automakers have lost market share in their own country over the last decade. Most cars sold in China now are foreign brands produced there through joint ventures with multinationals. So now that there's a quote, now that I have a child, I'm considering shifting to a safer car like Ford, said He-Hai, a 29-year-old real estate salesman, as he browsed at a car dealership. He was preparing to pay 254,800 renminbi, which is 41,500 American, including hefty Chinese taxes for a light green Ford Kuga. China's mostly state-owned automakers have responded with an unusually public campaign of news conferences and statements by the Industry Trade Association. They want to persuade China's Commerce Ministry to retain a requirement seldom found in other top manufacturing nations. Foreign automakers may assemble cars in China only through 50-50 joint ventures with domestic partners. So it keeps going on, but basically what we're pulling from this, I think, is that China's hurting, and we're about to be killing it over there. Ford's already over there, and we can only expect more, is what it seems. I don't think we need to read that one as full because Q didn't say, read carefully, right?
Right. That one's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah,
and
but I think
boom.
It gave a couple good insights as far as, the Chinese market hurting as far as in their own country, and that Ford's already there, and that we're lowering the tariffs so that, they're lowering their tariffs so that we can be selling our cars into their market, which is going to be a huge boom for us. Especially, we're going to be making a lot more cars here, guys.
They're going to love our car.
Oh boy. And given that American products tend to have higher quality, that's going to be interesting to see.
Do I just
I want to work in a plant.
Go for it, guys.
1118 is a recap of that article. And first word in the article is Chongqing, viz. Chongqing, China. For more than a decade, Chinese automakers have been starting large-scale exports to North America and Europe, prompting periodic worries in the West that companies like General Motors, Ford, and Volkswagen might be crippled by Chinese competition the way they were by the Japanese imports a generation ago. ... Q. And then we've got 1119 came in while we were doing this. It's a picture of Nick Stain and Pretty Boy Graham and everybody's favorite cave dweller, Fred Flintstone, aka Osama bin Laden. It says thoughts? Question. God bless. Q says fake. Q.
Well done, man. That was great.
Boom. So I think that's pretty much a wrap of the current events as far as those most recent Q drops, right? So we'll probably end up sectioning that out. And boom, that's awesome.
Shit, sorry I didn't help you with the reading, man. I should have taken some of that burden off you.
Oh, man, you're good. I don't mind reading.
But you got more videos to do. You can read some more on the later ones.
Hell yeah, bro. Feel free to jump in at any time. I try to give you guys, a chance to jump in. I feel bad. I think I kind of overran like a little bit at the beginning there. Ooh, I'm excited, though.
Not at all, man. Not at all. I was just watching you grind through it, man. It was incredible. Both of them.
Man, there's one night.
Good job, guys. Good job.
Thanks, bro. There's one night, man. I was on, QAnon, and we were just it was dead air, bro. It was in the middle of the night, and nobody would talk. Like I couldn't even get like a response from nobody. So I just read through the Q post and explained them as I went. I think I got through 200 in just over like an hour. It was like booming. It was awesome. I loved it.
Nobody tried to talk. That's a rarity. And then it's also not.
Right?
Well, looky here. We got a new Q.
Q drop.
Fudge.
Clarify. Sean King. Tuesday. Demand. Xi. Confirmed tariff reduction. Tuesday, in parentheses, China. Cars. Article provides foundation. Major import. Ford. U.S. Start. Q. Boom.
Boom. Bro, we're not segmenting shit out yet, bro, because let's see, clarified. Chongqing Tuesday demand, right? So Tuesday is getting clarified. If we push this out tonight, guess what? We're ahead of the news. They don't even know this yet because it's not confirmed. Guess what? Cars. Article provides foundation. Major import. Ford. U.S. Start. Q. Told you. Boom.
Whoa.
Dude, I think he is listening to us because we just like boomed that out the park and got right to that point. And he says, clarify. So Tuesday, like, what the heck? Bro, I feel it.
Thank you for the clarification, Q.
Right? Thank you.
All us.
All right, we can start moving through other topics that we have storyboarded. You guys want to? We could do the Epstein situation, or we could. Ooh, that might take a while. Or we could do the. I'd like Storm, in fact, help us with that one too. The Epstein situation. She's very knowledgeable in that topic too. And we also have plenty of other ideas though to jump into if we want, or if Q's done dropping. Maybe he's not. Maybe he'll lead us another direction. Or we could wrap up ISIS right now. That's a big one.
I sent you that video a while back about there was the Pizzagate one I made, and I made the music for it and stuff. And I was just wondering, should I make more videos like that and just we can just put them up?
The meme video.
Yeah, it's a Pizzagate meme video.
Yeah, I did like that. I remember when you sent me the first one, and it was really good. So I support that, bro. We could even put it on the channel. If we have other channels, I know Mama Ree will help post any videos, even though she said she got her first strike from the Parkland video,
Bummer.
She said it's a badge of honor,
Yeah.
I know it's gotten taken down a couple times. I've had to repost it on my Facebook and stuff. It's not even that bad, bro. It's not that bad at all.
No, it's not, man. I mean, the only thing they can really object to is at the end the Hitler reference,
They call President Trump all day on the news.
True that, man.
For a year, they called him Hitler. What the? Oh my God.
Well, double standards, bro. If they didn't have double standards, they'd have none.
Did you guys see the fake Q pick with McStain?
Yeah,
11-19. There's a Q post in between the one we just read and the one that we finished on. It's a fake picture. It says, "Thoughts, God bless," from Adnan, and it's with a couple other people. Oh, it looks like Osama bin Laden and McStain. And then Q says, "Fake Q." That's pretty good.
Well, why would Q bother to post fake?
Just so that we know that that's like totally too far, and that's like not the Syrian connection. He doesn't want us to get misled, I guess.
And Q told us that they were the cabal was gonna mix real news with fake news.
Gotcha.
Hey, by the way, post number 1120 is dated today, which is officially 4/10/2018.
Boom.
Dun, dun, dun.
They did that on purpose. Of course they did.
Of course, we love our president.
I just
Our president is our president is kicking these pedos in the balls. All right, so are we going to jump through this ISIS? How far back do we have to go?
Sheesh, man.
After the island or no?
Is that where it starts?
No, I'm thinking maybe, oh yeah, let's start after the child thing. So like maybe like 1058? Okay, yeah, 1059. Yeah, 1059, we'll start there.
Sorry, I'm just getting there. You said 1059?
Yeah. We should write these down. I'll write these down. Where did we start the last read at?
1059 is breaking 911, verified account at breaking 911. Breaking President Trump signs memorandum ending catch and release immigration policy. Reuters. Woohoo, good job, Mr. President. And then Q responds, watch the news. Q. I don't know if that's the start of the ISIS stuff yet. Or
that's good.
Yeah. Well, here's the start of the military chatter. 1077.
Okay, so we're down to which one? 60? Okay, 60. Q. And then on says Q was pedo drop narrative in recent bread distraction or planned. He says planned, but not planned, but necessary. Q. And then we go to 1061. What a coincidence! CNN. It's an article for CNN Politics. Roseanne Barr conspiracy tweets index. Q. Boom. So that's huge. Can we read that? Yeah, let's read that. Somebody got that pulled up?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. All right. It is Roseanne tweets support of Trump conspiracy theory confuses Twitter. So hard to do, right?
Oh, it confused them. Uh-oh. They don't know what to do.
Actress Roseanne Barr threw Twitter off the rails late Friday after she tweeted her support of a right-wing conspiracy theory. Quote, President Trump has freed so many children held in bondage to pimps all over this world, hundreds each month. He has broken up trafficking rings in high places everywhere. Notice that. I disagree on some things, but give him the benefit of the doubt for now, end quote, she tweeted.
Wow, that's not a conspiracy theory, bro. That's a conspiracy fact, Tommy. Boom! He's been releasing all them kids and locking up them pedos.
Yep, we got lists on that. Numbers, real numbers. It continues on. The theory known as the storm is believed to have started after Trump cryptically remarked during a photo op with military leaders and their spouses before a White House dinner last October that reporters were seeing the, quote, calm before the storm, end quote. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders declined to elaborate the next day on what the president meant. The storm, as Newsweek, Mediaite, and others have explained, alleges that high-profile Democrats and other famous people are involved in child sex trafficking rings, and that Trump is breaking them up and arresting those involved in their operation. The theory has been traced to the online message board 4chan, where an anonymous user known as QAnon, or simply Q, has propagated the theory. Twitter users concerned about Barr's involvement in such theories quickly pointed to the past tweets by her that would further explain her involvement in the theory. In November, Barr tweeted, "Who is Q?" The Daily Beast reported. The actress added hours later, "Tell QAnon to DM me in the next 24 hours. After her tweet Friday, many Twitter users took to the platform to proclaim their confusion, including New York Times White House correspondent Maggie Haberman, who simply tweeted, "What?" Wow, she earned that journalism job, didn't she?
Right, now she know, though.
Barr re-entered the spotlight this week after Trump revealed that he called to congratulate her on the highly successful reboot of the show Roseanne, an ABC sitcom about a blue-collar family in Illinois, originally broadcast in the late 1980s and 1990s. Barr, who is a supporter of Trump in the new series and in real life, has recently embraced several fringe conspiracy theories, according to the Daily Beast, including the one she tweeted about Friday, which is part of a larger conspiracy theory that alleges Satanism and sex trafficking by Trump's opponents. Now, let's talk for a second about the origin of the word conspiracy theory. Does anybody know where and why the word was invented?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It was basically weaponized after the JFK assassination to discredit or basically completely debunk any outside theory other than the narrative they're pushing. Boom.
Boom.
Oh, that's by the CIA, by the way, because JFK said he was going to break them up into 1,000 pieces and dismantle that shit, just like Trump just did. Boom.
Boom.
If you think about it, he's basically...
So the point is... Go ahead.
He's basically finishing the works of those that came before him but weren't able to finish because the publicity needed to remain alive without being snuffed out wasn't achieved yet. The fact that Trump is so mimetic and popular allows him to be able to survive stuff that would tear apart presidents in the past. They can't kill him without having a massive recoil, on par with disclosure occurring.
Absolutely. I think an important point to this also is the fact that the mainstream is reporting on this, but they are giving it the tinfoil hat treatment, which is what they do every time something comes out that they eventually have to admit is real, but they want to downplay it until they break the story and make it sound like it was their original story, and they put their own spin on it rather than just reporting the reality and the facts.
How you know how they work like that, bro? Oh, wait, we all do.
Yep. So the next one,
where Trump says,
what you got?
Trump says, remember, I just want to make one thing clear, that the mainstream media, the corporate media, is not involved in journalism anymore. They're a special interest just like any other with a total political axe to grind.
Absolutely. And it's interesting that people have all of a sudden forgotten this just because Trump said it. Up until Trump was president, people around the country didn't trust mainstream media for good reason, because they could see through the BS. But then Trump starts criticizing it and people want to put their blinders back on and say, oh, no, they're legitimate. They're real. And it's like, where were you 7 months ago when you were calling them out on BS?
Yup. Like Groundhog Effect or some shit, bro. They just went back in. I don't want to see nothing here.
It's almost like the truth is shocking or something.
Or it's almost like the truth is only the truth as long as it suits them to say that it's the truth. As soon as it's the truth about them, or the truth is ugly to them, they don't want to see it, so they bury their heads again. I hope that made sense.
It did.
Sorry, trying to get
That's
things to
the
happen
thing
real quick.
about the truth, though. Go ahead.
I was getting things to happen real quick on the Twitter front. I'm getting the trusty bot to auto upload different people's Twitters. Multitasking.
The great thing about truth is that truth is true no matter whether you believe it or not. So it is completely independent of people's opinions of it. That's not to say there can't be multiple truths about a subject, but it doesn't make the truth any less valid.
Speaking of the truth, Mark Zuckerberg will not be under oath before the Senate committee, but compelled by statute to tell the truth. Do you think he's going to try to tell the truth?
Oh, that. I mean, we all know the mainstream story about how he got his fame, right? You guys all saw the movie about Facebook and how it was started, right? He basically stole some social media idea from his frat buddies or his dorm mates in college. That's the mainstream narrative of it.
Yeah, but he can't even write code. Cannot write code.
Yeah, he stole the idea from a couple of frat boys who wanted to spy on the chicks at their school.
100%. But I'm just saying that he tries to play it off like he's doing updates or whatever. He can't write code. He cannot write code. Piss me off. He can't write code.
He tries to play off this whole beautiful mind persona where he's like this socially awkward genius who, oh man, it's funny.
Sorry, not sure. I didn't mean to throw you off there.
No, you're good, man. So does somebody want to read 1062?
Yeah. Go for it.
All right. Anonymous says, where is CC right now? What does he hope to accomplish there? Why would they be willing? Oh, hold on. Okay. Yeah, this was a screenshot by an anonymous. And he's saying, Q, is pick related real or fake? Q says fake. Q. That's very similar to the one we just got, isn't it? I mean, the picture's different, but the communication is the same.
Exactly.
Okay. 1063 says spread out by design. MSNBC next. At Jack. No PG bot push. Post RC question mark. Saving for Monday. Waiting. Open the door. At Snowden. Close to door. Q. Is that a period at Snowden or just an at Snowden?
A good question.
Oh,
Maybe
it is.
like,
It's a period at Jack, period at Snowden.
bro, that's exactly what he's acknowledging. I think our development as far as learning that if you put the dot before the at sign, it will target everybody that follows them. It will show for everybody that follows them.
It's interesting that he would put that's pretty cool. And then what do we got here? The no PG bot push post RC question mark. If you hover your cursor over the PG, it shows Pizzagate or Pedogate. So no Pedogate bot push post RC.
I need to check out the post. 1 sec.
I remember when we read this one, somebody was able to pull up something pretty quick on what RC was, and it was relevant to something that was in the news that day or that we were talking about that day.
Is that the Ray Chandler thing, or is that farther back?
There you go. Yes.
What about Ray Chandler? What happened?
RC. No PG bot post RC.
Right.
Saving for Monday. Waiting. Open the door at Snowden. Close to the door. Or close to door. Q. So no Pizzagate bot push post Ray Chandler. Is that it? Saving that for Monday. But what did we get today? Today's Monday, right? Today is now Tuesday. Anyway, 1060. There is a NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. There's a picture exclusive at Lester Holt NBC. Interviews former Attorney General Loretta Lynch. Lynch will discuss former FBI Director James Comey, her airplane meeting with President Bill Clinton during the 2016 campaign, and more. See it Monday on at NBC Nightly News. Sounds like someone wants to get ahead of a potential bombshell story. So it looks like that was a Anon posted that to Q, and Q shared or reposted it. Then we've got 1065, Instagram.com, Ray Chandler, The Island, Night in Killbox 3, Q. 1066, connection made, RC end. We have grounds, reverting, thank you, Q. 1067, China, Chongqing, Tuesday, Q. 1068, FoxNews.com, soldiers killed in helicopter crash at Fort Campbell. Coincidence? Statistically impossible. Pray, day, Killbox 1, Q. It is a Fox News article about a helicopter crash, which has been happening quite a bit. Helicopters, jets, just falling out of the sky. Like they're just going to always crash. Like that's a normal thing, you know. The military just crashes planes, you know. That's just what they do. That doesn't ring with me.
No, sorry, Bob.
Yeah, we haven't lost a Thunderbird in decades.
And now they're just crashing. Like, what? Really?
Let's talk about
New Q.
No, you read it? 69?
No, we got new Q.
Oh, we got new Q? God, actions today in Killbox raid will be met with swift action. FBI burning midnight oil. Q. Oh my God, what the heck? We all know what that's talking about, right? The Stormy Daniels raid. That's what we're talking about. Or the raid on the Trump Towers during the fire. Ow.
That's pretty big, man. It's 12:42 right now. So the next time zone over from Central is going to be midnight soon. Which time zone and part of the country is that? So it goes Central, Mountain, Pacific, right?
I'm in Pacific. He's in right now, like the Ecuadorian one, right?
Right, but it'll be midnight in Mountain Time in about 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, yes, I'm in Pacific. Yep. We know that he's talking about, you know, the FBI is going to be basically facing swift retaliation from us, either on the SS raiding, you know, his place, or the Stormy Daniels raid on Cohen's office. So that leads us to 1069. Have you read that yet?
69. I gotta get back down there.
I got you. You have more than you know. Steel, tech, America for sale. Systematic weakening of the U.S. Uranium One, cash flow funnel, inside job, traders, cash sign. We are in control. Those awake can see. Q. Which takes us to 1070. Anon says, Q, please confirm or tell us if we are wrong about POTUS weekly address. It's happening, meaning what we all think it means. Talking to you, Anon, we always see it's happening here. The tone, war, April showers, Q. Is talking about Syria, right? Or Iran?
We always see it's happening here. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. So then the one he just said about EH, California, CA, relevant soon. So EH, is that one of the counties or the probably somebody, a governor or a mayor? Duh. Boom. Eric Holder, California, relevant soon. What's his background? Enlighten everybody.
Past the period.
Boom. Cool. Border states are very, this is 1072. In response to that one, border states are very key, bigger than you can imagine. The pipeline, not R versus D. CA is special. Public will learn. Q. And I think he's talking about the protected flow that, like, senators like McStain and Jeff Flake had, where they smuggle, drugs, guns, people, kids, or as the deep state call them, food and sacrifice. All that stuff's protected flow through, and that's no longer now. He shut that down, and he's about to shut down California, what they got going on. So, boom. And then this is the Twitter White House status. Can somebody bring that up?
All right. He says, I'm also calling on Congress to immediately close the deadly border security loopholes that endanger all over our country. We're living with laws that don't. President Donald J. Trump, April 7th, 2018.
Wow. And then we go to this CNN article, right? Politics, Joseph Schmidt's Trump advisor, Clinton emails index. Read between the lines, front page, fake news Q. Here, let's bring this up. Hope it doesn't crash me.
All right, this is the CNN article that says exclusive Trump advisor played key role in pursuit of possible Clinton emails from dark web before election.
Basically, creating a alternative dark web, one of good. So 1075, Anon says 8chan, question marks. Guess what? Q says, new tactic, buckle up, media matters, 4chan, narrative plus anything Q, clowns plus Twitter push, MSM overdrive, all for a LARP, Q. Right? Talking about media matters, which is David Brock, is going to be attacking 4chan, I guess. The 4chan narrative, plus anything Q, going to be attacking the Twitter push. Mainstream media is on overdrive, and it's all for a LARP, right? Live action role play. No, it is not. Somebody.
Sure, it's a great picture of our patriots marching down the streets, and it says, "Patriots stand together, strength, power. They want you divided." Q.
That's awesome. I love that one. Even though we're over here doing our own thing now, there's no animosity, no peace.
Right on, man.
Night 4. This is 1077. Night in Killbox in bold 4. Increase in chatter. Auth B19-2. Sparrow Red, prevent at all costs, good, castle_online Q. And what do we figure out that means? Sparrow Red had a few meetings and authorization B19. Didn't we come up with the bill or something?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Go back to it later. Then he responds, prevent authorization first, S, Castle_Green. And then it looks like a basically keyword, right? Like a password. It's capital F, capital R, H, capital Y, D, 5894-3580-357, capital D, capital B, capital E, capital C, G. Contact window, OK, Q. And then he replies, tracking good, relay back channel, S-WH-E-P1, fly high, Q. Guess what that's talking about? That's talking about strike from the White House, Epstein Island, P1, right? Boom, maybe? Isn't that the night they bombed Epstein Island?
I think it was.
Trying to start a war. Deflection, public interest shift, public announcement, or pull out announcement. Chem attack, coincidence, these people are sick. Q, these people are sick, coincidence. Chem attack, pull out announcement, public interest shift, deflection, they're trying to start war. Well, I love this next one. 1081 is response to an add-on saying, Putin is Russia's president. His job is to look after the Russian people. Put yourself in his shoes. He wants to win. Why not take advantage of his enemies? Trump comes along. Russian Putin becomes our ally. Z becomes our ally. Z and Putin are also under attack by the deep state, which is rooted globally. And then Q says, POTUS never, in all caps, never telegraphs his moves. Think logically. Why did POTUS announce his intention to pull out of Syria? Moves and counter moves. These people are stupid and sick. Q. Boom.
Boom.
And if you think about it, it makes sense, right? Z, Putin, and Trump are all enemies of the deep state, all kind of actively going against it, right? And, you know, Russia is flexing with their missile tech, you know? It's just kind of what we saw North Korea do before they settled down, what Iran's about to do before they settle down, and what Russia's doing just to, you know, get their kicks in, I guess. Make them look like they're not weak, too. Flexing hard. Flex.
Flex, boom.
I do 1082. POTUS and JFK Jr. relationship. Plane crash 1999. HRC Senate 2000. The quote start. Enjoy the show. Q. 1083. He reposts that. SIG intercept. CIA.gov library reading rooms. There's a document. Old to new as the world turns. Q. There's the document right there. It is Earth Satellite Program. 1. An agency decision has been reached establishing OSI as the focal point on the Earth Satellite Program. The AD has directed that staff supervision of the program will be the responsibility of the DAD/C, with substantive responsibility assigned to guided missiles. 2. Accordingly, action on the attached letter to Dr. Dulles is assigned to collection staff. It is suggested that Mr. Pernas be contacted immediately and arrangements made for office representatives to attend tomorrow's meeting. 25 years. Executive Order 13-526. 3.3 B1.
Wow, you just dropped again.
No, wait, what do you say? Here we go.
Trust Sessions. Trust Kansas. Trust Horowitz. Trust Huber. Q.
Wow. Trust Huber. I didn't know that. We knew Trust Sessions. We knew Trust Ray. We knew Trust Kansas. We knew Trust Horowitz. Huber, huh? Trust Huber. Q.
Huber's going to be able to do whatever he wants with this investigation. You guys understand? He's not in DC with it.
That's great, man.
Continue going on about that, bro.
No, it's a jurisdiction thing.
Dude, the FBI is on it tonight.
Huh?
The FBI on it tonight, man.
Oh, yeah. I just tweeted at him, too, earlier. Wow. So JFK and POTUS Jr., though, right? They were friends. They were good friends, I guess. And the plane crash in 99, they took JFK out, which ARC was behind, and she got the seat for Senate in 2000 because of it, right? He was actually, it was right after he was announced one of the nominations, right? And he dies. She gets the seat, and that's the start because he knows what's up. He's woke, right? Trump's woke as fuck. And, right, so Trump has been playing the long game on him, right? He's always 5 deep chest, right? And it's just amazing to watch how long he's been holding this, like, you know, he's going to get him. 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 So great. But to be a builder and to watch 9/11 and like, yeah, that aluminum plane got through those steel I-beams 5-inch thick, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, keep rolling with that. Gotcha. And this whole thing with the Senate seat of his friend, he's not letting that shit go for nothing. So there's 1083, he responds to it saying, SIG intercept. Oh, that's the one you just read. Old to new, as the world turns, Q. We go, POTUS is hunkering down today. Situation room, Q, as 1084. 1085, WSJ, articles, North Korea ready to discuss denuclearization, U.S. officials say. Guess what? We said that already. We've been saying, what, at least a week now? That not only did Korea unite, but is denuclearizing. We've had the pictures for a while. After all these years, no mainstream media, positive media blast. Think, now Syria, Iran, Russia flexed through missile tech. We started asking coincidence long ago for a specific reason. Those awakened can finally see for themselves. Conspiracy, have faith, trust the plan, Q. Boom. Flex boom.
Flex boom.
So we know what's going on there. It's amazing that after all these years of, oh, North Korea's going to boom us, or they're going to hit us with the nuke, Russia's going to hit us with the nuke. Guess what? CIA black site's over. And no positive, news at all coverage. No positive news coverage at all. And now Syria. And guess what? This chemical weapon was destroyed by the missiles from Israel, allegedly, to in the same spot to cover up the evidence. And Russia, well, Iran's next. We already know we're shutting down Iran. And Deep State's just trying to throw wrench in the works with us leaving Syria, but people don't want to fight for Al-Qaeda in Syria, in a Syrian civil war. They don't. So Russia's flexing through missile tech, and there's a reason that they started asking coincidence, because, coincidences, don't exist. And we have been watching this with just complete anticipation for change, and watching it happen has just been phenomenal. No name in Syria, 1086. No name in Syria, timeline, purpose, who attended, No Name and Panic, health cover, fast. Q. So he's going to be having, just like he's not going for re-election under his disguise of his under the guise of his health, that he's going to be having some health problems coming up here shortly, and over his fake surgery, right? So he's shifting himself. McStain is shifting himself. We got all sorts of sauce on that dude.
And the hypocrisy of McStain trying to put this bombing thing in Syria on Trump, saying it was Trump's fault that it happened.
100%. You have more than you know. Spiderweb, Q. And that's when we start really decoding some stuff. Connected? See the spiderweb? Q. Right? Abu Moza, ISIS press officer, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, head of ISIS, Senator John McStain, representative Republican Arizona, Mohammed Noor, Syrian terrorist, Muaz Mustafa, SETF. Guess what that is? Syrian Emergency Task Force. Yep, she's connected to the terrorists. Guess what? So is that other terrorist. They're all terrorists. Terrorists. Do you see the 5 terrorists?
For the stream?
Sorry.
Dude, he's got his back to the head of ISIS.
Yeah, it looks like he wasn't quite ready for the picture. Everybody else posing, he's still walking. Must have been a pretty quick, shifty picture.
Not many Americans have probably lived to have him stand behind you.
Yeah, right?
How could
That's the face of ISIS right there, guys.
How could he have done that, man?
That's the face of ISIS. I think that's huge. I don't think we realized, or at least I didn't, how massive that is. That's the head of ISIS right there with McStain, he works in DC. Guess what? Number 5 right there, the Syrian Emergency Task Force, Muaz Mustafa. We've already targeted him on Twitter. And another Syrian terrorist and the press officer, like that dude, number 1, he's nicknamed the Heart Eater. Heart Eater. For good reason.
Where's McCain's security on this excursion?
Bro, they are his security, homie. Who do you think messing with the head of ISIS?
Well, who you think
Trump?
created ISIS, my man? But that's the thing is, who you think created ISIS? That nigga's just a pawn, bro.
Probably. Well, they helped create ISIS, right? Obama and McStain and all them.
Look, you can see McCain is with them, but remember, Obama was the one who actually funded these people when they first started. He organized these people. As soon as Obama came to presidency, that Abu Dhabi guy, that poo-poo dude, he was the one that was over there starting all that bullshit.
Guess what, though? He's not the first. George W. Bush gave him billions, too. So we got, $53 million that they gave to Al-Qaeda, right? And
yeah, that's what his father. You could see his father was fucking with the Bin Laden family. They've been doing that shit for a minute, bro.
Like 23, some kind of million that they gave to the Bush's administration. Gave to the Taliban. Taliban, boom.
And then Bin Laden was a CIA member, so he was supposed to be like one of these biggest terrorists in the world. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
100%, bro. He's from a billionaire family. He's a billionaire. He was on dialysis when he was FBI's most wanted, right? The top 10 list. He was on dialysis. They had meetings with him. Don't know. It's amazing. Immortal Technique's been talking about all this since like early 2000s or before that even. And on point too, and talking about all this. And, you know, one of the real things he says is, you know, government ties is really why the government lies. And it's so true.
There's been thousands of people talking about this, but you know what happens? They're labeled a cuckoo, a tin hat wearing conspiracy theorist.
Oh, like conspiracy theorist, right? Yeah. Oh, wait, conspiracy fact, bruh. You know, that word was weaponized by the CIA, and we outlived them.
We turning the tables, my man.
So here we go.
I got.
Are we still rolling on the video thing?
Go for it, man.
I think so.
1089.
1090.
Location. Exact location.
Location. Pictures leak moment is not pictured. What forces shadowed no name? Contractors, special contractors. What was delivered? Smiles. Exact location. Exact buildings. E of spiderweb. Spiderweb marker. Open source Q. So he's talking about ISIS being the, you know, contractors, special contractors that are shadowing him, right? And literally the head of ISIS is behind him. And the location, what did we find out about that, right? Because we pulled up the sauce on that where we figured out which organization that was. Can anybody pull that up in Storyboard or something? McStain knows better. No pictures. Smiling for him. No kind of security around him except for ISIS. What is he thinking? In Syria. I think it turned out to be the AZAZ. As is.
The Academy or something? Academy with an I?
Oh no, that's Blackwater Academi. But that's the next one, bro. But the buildings E of Spiderweb. We're talking about the marker in the back of the picture behind the terrorists. All right, here we go. So while you guys pull that up, because that sauce is really important, somebody replies, or Q, Laura's report, Blackwater CEO Eric Prince was CIA asset. Yes, he was. Think double. Why are we confirming this publicly? Why now? Q. Oh, I wonder. Because a double agent? And they're confirming it because of the CIA being dismantled, right? And what's the other reason? It's what's he into now? Isn't he like a Trump asset, basically? He's a pawn for Trump now? All right, and then they get what's her name? Like Elizabeth. Oh my gosh, Olag or something like that. Oh my god, I forget. Oh, dang, I don't remember her name, but we have the pictures, and it's we love phones. No Name should know better, and that's his like press secretary. I think she's the Syrian like press. You know what I mean? Can we get a source on that? I gotta go grab my phone. I think we posted this in all through. If somebody could go through the general text, it's up there, right?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now. It's the one that Chaos dug up yesterday.
Boom! What a great team.
Got that right. We got some good people in here.
I'm also looking for the building thing that we found.
Yeah, me too.
Next time we'll be more
there's
prepared.
A site that.
Yeah, next time we'll be more prepared. We're a little running on, just energy at this point, I guess, because the first one we knocked out of the park for sure, but this one we weren't quite as well prepared for. Where this whole ISIS thing, we had it storyboarded almost, but it'll get there. We're doing it.
And Q keeps dropping, man, and I'm just like, I'm so excited about this new post because like the Trust Huber thing, and I just think it's going to be a big freaking thing, dude, and I'm excited. So I don't know, it's going to be hard to sleep tonight.
What if the Huber, Rod Rosenstein, Mueller, all those, the Jeff Sessions, all those investigations and reports end up merging, right?
Because Huber's out of Utah, right? He took over for Orrin Hatch, so that's in a totally different jurisdiction. He's got totally, and he's a mad dog too. He's a hard ass when it comes to prosecuting. He's prosecuted nothing but like violent crimes and shit like that. And so I don't know. My mind's just going out there right now, but just think about it. What else is in Utah that we know of?
Mormons?
Evidence-wise?
Mormons.
Yeah, nice.
Well, there was that whole dispute over the land out there. I mean, it was mostly in Nevada, but it also extended up to Utah. There were families that were affected by the ranching ban that Reed's son was in charge of, selling off land to foreign countries.
Think bigger. Think way bigger.
Don't they have all the info on the bloodlines?
Bingo.
Whoa, the Ancestry.me stuff, right?
Yeah.
23andMe, Ancestry.com, all that stuff?
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
See what I'm saying now? I'm just like, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight now, man.
Holy shit, bro.
Thanks, Mike.
I think we could just like clarify that that's a boom.
Boom, bro, face melted boom, homie. I'm like literally just like open eyes, like whoa.
So is Sessions going to drop the hammer? Because Sessions is in charge of that. So he's who they report to, right?
Holy shit, bro.
Your face is melting, and this is all melting together. And my face is melting too, by the way. I'm on another level right now, man. I can't even explain.
Let's go.
Yeah, bro. All right. I'm still processing. This is crazy. But yeah.
We'll work it out on the air, bro. Talk it out.
Yep, my bad.
You good?
No, it's good, man. Talk it out.
In a second, when I can breathe, y'all talk for a second.
Okay, so I'm just like, I'm connecting all this shit. So like, just thinking of this, all this ritual sacrifice stuff and the child trafficking, human trafficking, all of this stuff. Because the bloodlines are all there. And what do these people follow? These people are the bloodlines. They follow all the blood. I mean, the information is there. The information is in the blood. It's just, I don't know, my mind's going everywhere.
Jurisdiction over that, right? Basically.
Which bloodline is referring to? Do you know about the Napoleon Project?
Enlighten us.
It is a project to find all of Napoleon's ancestors and predecessors based on their DNA profiles.
I thought it was like more Alexander the Great.
Oh, it goes back beyond Alexander the Great.
Probably like Pharaonic
But it also goes forward. It also goes forward beyond Napoleon. Into today, certain people of certain bloodlines that we've noticed and found to be in charge of things. You get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, and then backwards, I was able to get it all the way to Charlemagne, but I couldn't find a link between Charlemagne and Constantine. But before Constantine, it goes back before to the split of Israel and Judah. There were two kingdoms in the same land. Two kingdoms, two thrones, one land.
Wonder how that went.
Well, the king of Judah was Saul, who was preceded by David, who was preceded by Solomon. And through Solomon's lineage was Mary, and Mary gave birth to Christ.
Intense. So we're talking about Mary Magdalene now.
No, Mary, the Virgin Mary.
Okay, bro. Okay. Well, a little two-faced melted then. I do not have my biblical history down that well at all.
But then on the same time, there was also the lineage of Ahab and Jezebel. They were the king and queen of Israel, and their lineage was over Israel. And Judah had the rightful king because it had Solomon and it had David. And Christ ended up coming from that bloodline. But Ahab's bloodline, they believed they should rule. It's a real life Game of Thrones, man. It goes all the way back. They've always been competitive over the thrones.
So can we say history has a tendency of repeating itself? Can we say we're witnessing that right now?
100%, bro.
Absolutely.
We are history.
I'd say it's not like it's repeating itself. It's more like it's one long string that just doesn't stop.
Well, it is, bro, because I can break this down real quick. We get down to the darkness, right? There's a great period of darkness, extending from the medieval era all the way through till about 1680, right? The Salem witch trials, 82, I think it was, 1682. And we have, the witch hunt, and, it's crazy. So the true history of that, too, the way that it gets spun back onto the people like they're the bad people for burning these damn witches. You know what I mean? Hillary Clinton, a damn witch. We need to burn the bitch. That's what I'm saying. But I'm not really saying that. I'm not saying that. But so if you look at it, right, Salem witch trials, right? And then we go into the early 1700s. We get into the 1730s, 1740s, and we start having the Great Awakening, right? The first one. It's the one that they basically created the Bible Belt, where we had a few prominent ministers that preached all along that, basically the Americas, the discovered area, went all the way up into the Great Awakening, lasted until 1776, and the shot heard around the world, right? Or the crossing the Potomac, right? So it's freaking fascinating knowing that we're living basically in not only the darkness right now, but we're currently actually in the Great Awakening, and it leads up to the Second American Revolution, which we're really racing towards fastly.
You got it, man.
The world.
Yep, and we should call ourselves lucky to be here and to be part of it. And I thank each and every one of you. You guys are great patriots.
Oh, thank you, bro.
It's an honor to know you guys.
He was dropping such good sauce over her. Joe Doe, that's awesome, bro.
So should we continue with the posts?
Oh, you know it. All right, so we got, do you want to play the speech? What you know now?
Yeah, it'd have to be you playing it, bro. But yeah, go for it.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like they haven't seen before. This is not simply another 4-year election. This is a crossroads in the history of our civilization that will determine whether or not we, the people, reclaim control over our government. The political establishment that is trying to stop us is the same group responsible for our disastrous trade deals, massive illegal immigration, and economic and foreign policies that have bled our country dry. The political establishment has brought about the destruction of our factories and our jobs as they flee to Mexico, China, and other countries all around the world. It's a global power structure that is responsible for the economic decisions that have robbed our working class, stripped our country of its wealth, and put that money into the pockets of a handful of large corporations and political entities. This is a struggle for the survival of our nation, and this will be our last chance to save it. This election will determine whether we're a free nation or whether we have only the illusion of democracy, but are in fact controlled by a small handful of global special interests rigging the system, and our system is rigged. This is reality. You know it, they know it, I know it, and pretty much the whole world knows it. The Clinton machine is at the center of this power structure. We've seen this firsthand in the WikiLeaks documents, in which Hillary Clinton meets in secret with international banks to plot the destruction of U.S. sovereignty in order to enrich these global financial powers, her special interest friends, and her donors. Honestly, she should be locked up. The most powerful weapon deployed by the Clintons is the corporate media, the press. Let's be clear on one thing. The corporate media in our country is no longer involved in journalism. They're a political special interest, no different than any lobbyist or other financial entity with a total political agenda, and the agenda is not for you, it's for themselves. Anyone who challenges their control is deemed a sexist, a racist, a xenophobe. They will lie, and then again, they will do worse than that. They will do whatever is necessary. The Clintons are criminals, remember that. This is well documented. And the establishment that protects them has engaged in a massive cover-up of widespread criminal activity at the State Department and the Clinton Foundation in order to keep the Clintons in power. They knew they would throw every lie they could at me and my family and my loved ones. They knew they would stop at nothing to try to stop me. Nevertheless, I take all of these slings and arrows gladly for you. I take them for our movement so that we can have our country back. I knew this day would arrive. It's only a question of when. And I knew the American people would rise above it and vote for the future they deserve. The only thing that can stop this corrupt machine is you. The only force strong enough to save our country is us. The only people brave enough to vote out this corrupt establishment is you, the American people. Our great civilization has come upon a moment of reckoning. I didn't need to do this, folks, believe me. I built a great company, and I had a wonderful life. I could have enjoyed the fruits and benefits of years of successful business deals and businesses for myself and my family, instead of going through this absolute horror show of lies, deceptions, malicious attacks. Who would have thought? I'm doing it because this country has given me so much, and I feel so strongly that it's my turn to give back to the country that I love. I'm doing this for the people and for the movement, and we will take back this country for you, and we will make America great again.
Wow. Always good.
Yeah, so she's, gonna get the gallows. So, God bless you all.
God bless you all, patriots.
If somebody wants to lead a prayer real quick, that'd be great.
I'd love to, man. Father in heaven, I thank you for this opportunity to be here this evening with these great American patriots. And I thank you for being with the FBI this evening as they burn the midnight oil, Lord. And I just pray that you give them a second wind to go after the cabal and these evil people who have done these things. And Father in heaven, just let President Donald J. Trump know exactly how much we appreciate everything. And just give him that extra bit of second wind for tonight, to just that extra bit of energy, and be with his family, Lord, and let them know we appreciate them lending out their father to help save the world, save America, Lord. I just pray that you be with it's right now, and you just help them in their lives, Lord. Extra little bit of encouragement that we need to just get through and keep pushing and communicating this message to the world, Lord. Americans, and just let it be clear, Lord, have us do according to your will. I just thank you for, I can't contain my joy. And I bless President Donald J. Trump, and God bless the United States. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 So we got 1094 flag SEC. Oh, dang, I'm getting blown up by freaking bot notifications. Dang. Okay. SEC detailed background, security detailed background, right? All looking away, in quotes, trusted, close proximity, refugees who worked, U.S. House Senate, traitor, Q, Fricknickstein. Boom. And then we get to Soccer Muaz, right? McCain, ISIS. 1095. Muaz Mustafa is executive director of Syrian Emergency Task Force. Works right here in our own Washington, D.C. His father, if anybody can read that, I can't really read that right now. Stood by me through everything, never had a stronger supporter of all I do. After years of experience, expert everywhere from Damascus to Lumpur to Arkansas, and recruited to work for American Air, the largest airline in the world. The one I use. Yeah, we got to blow up American Airlines too, guys. Oh, wow.
Info bombs.
Yeah, bad choice of words there. Yeah, Twitter war, right? Twitter war. Let me correct that. That's not what just happened. So, Twitter war at American Air. That's what I'm saying. The
public service, man.
Terrorist uses often for travel. Congrats, Dad. We love you so much. I'm so proud. Terrorist family. Boom. And that's at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. Imagine that.
What a piece of work.
Syrian Emergency Task Force, bro. Thursday, meeting with LTG Romeo Dallaire, one of my personal heroes, after briefing press and parliament in Ottawa, Canada, on the war crimes being committed in Syria. One of his personal heroes, huh? He is sitting in his chair back to us in one pic. Yeah, I see it. I get it. And they give his Twitter handle. Q, boom. Get at him. I already did this morning. What's up? Ain't scared of him, punk ass terrorist. And guess what? 1096, they dropped his handle too. Muaz Mustafa. Out him, doxed at Soccer Muaz. Born Palestinian refugee. At 12. World traveler. Played football. Worked in U.S. House, Senate, Egyptian, Libyan, Syrian Revolution, executive director at Syrian ETF. We got to get them. Hey, can we make a list, guys? Anybody make a list real quick of the at Syrian ETF, at American Air. Let's target also. Anybody keeping up with me?
Trying to, bro.
At Syrian American Air. Which one was he at? He was at the Ronald Reagan Washington Airport. Can we get that one? That specific Twitter handle. We'll target them too. Let them know about the terrorists. And Soccer Muaz too. And his dad, why not? And that dude's name, Ronald, what is it? Whatever, Dallaire? Reagan Dallaire, whatever his name is. That dude that we were just talking about.
Romeo Dallaire.
Romeo, there we go. Boom. If we can get all these lists compiled, we'll target the hell out of them on Twitter. I'll get at it real quick, okay?
Yeah, and what was the airport? Was it the Washington, D.C., you said?
I think it was the Ronald Reagan. Yeah, Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport.
So I'm wondering, could that be the RR that he's talking about later on?
No,
RR
Rod Rosenstein, bro. Sorry, Rod Rosenstein. He's talking about Rod Rosenstein's shit falling apart on him.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because it's gonna have big consequences, man, for that shit.
Flex, boom. So they out the hell out of this dude. And that's his about me on his Twitter. $10.97. Dig. Context. I find all pics bigger than you know. One example of many. A1 Q. So what level clearance did he have?
I would say he had to have a pretty damn high clearance level, you know, being where he was. You see all those pictures on his Twitter. He was up when McMaster was making speeches, and also the UN Security Council and all those.
Definitely not Q level, though. Boom. Okay, here we go. Hussein destroy 1 year ? Versus Hussein 8 years ? Versus George W. Bush ? TC Access sold out. Bring back the gallows. Boom. Q. Well, he didn't say Q. He didn't say boom, but trust. So yeah, POTUS just rounded their little asses up, and Hussein helped them, funded them. So did George W. Bush. Sold out. Bring back the gallows. Let's do it. In response to that, he drops the Navy, Marines, Army, Special Ops, people saying, I didn't join whichever armed forces that joined in a Syrian civil war. Didn't do it. So, anybody want to read? Oh, that's the end. So that's boom. We can wrap that right there. That's a rip. Oof. That's a wrap. Rippy wrap. We done. Because we already started at 1100 to 1120.
Hey, what about cross-referencing the lines crashes from when this guy was working there?
You might just want to add in a little bit about what terrorist organization they were pictured in front of. I know that we figured it out with the spiderweb logo, and it's like AZ, or something like that. AZAZ, something like that, right?
Yeah, I can't find it, man. It won't let me go back that far.
Dang, that's like 2 videos down, bro. We kill. Wow, we pretty going hard, pretty much. Thanks. Where do we go from here, guys?
All right. Are we back in general or what?
Hey, ridiculous.
What's up, bro? What's up?
It's not bashing them. It's just more of I'm noticing the big elephant in the room in terms of parallels of how they do the naming schema. Why was QAnon named, well, QAnon?
Because it was Q News Network based on, well, Q instead of CNN's fake news. Truth news versus N.
Quite interesting how it evolved. It has mutated into mirroring that quite well. Might not be fake news, but I'm hearing a lot of this. What?
It did for a while. It was great. True news for a while. Friendly True News.
What happened? Like,
That's a long story, and it's not even really worth explaining, bro. We just push it forward.
It's part of my nature to like knowing the why behind stuff and the how and stuff. I want to hear it sometime, but continue as you were. I'm just had that random thought in my head.
I got you. Dude, so we pretty much just wrapped up the ISIS video and McCain, right? We can pretty much cross that one out. And then the Facebook's downward spiral with Mark Zuckerberg's stocks and donations. We did both those, right? With the Q post, basically, what was that? 10:59 here. I got it written down. 10:59 through 11:20, bro. We killed it, guys.
And you know what, too, Dank? I think that after going through that, we discovered the bloodline thing, and I think that's going to help out with the Epstein Island deal.
100%. So, Jodo, you still there, bro? He's probably busy, but we'll end up shipping that off to Numerous, and he'll chop that into a couple sexy ass videos, and then we'll get that out there.
Is he by any chance a JoJo reference in himself? Sorry, my brain can't help but think of that. Several times, actually, now that I think about it.
JoJo?
Yeah, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. It's an anime that has been referenced a lot as a meme.
No clue.
So, what else is in Utah? If you look at what I just threw up there on the live.
Wait, you're in live, not general?
I mean general, sorry.
God, we got such an awesome team. This is awesome, guys. So glad you guys are here to be a part of this.
Okay, when I get back to my computer, there's a clip that I think makes a basis for a good meme.
Hey, while we're rolling, do you want to? I could do the real quick Twitter tutorial.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. I'm going to do it real quick. So, Twitter, right? That's where a lot of war is taking place. A lot of dank memes are going down, and there's a few rules and protocols to follow to get the maximum effect. So, first off, if you are putting someone that you're targeting their handle in, if you put the dot before the @ sign, and it shows for all of that person's followers. So say you target Justin Bieber. If you put dot at Justin Bieber or whatever his handle is, it will show for all of his 100+ million followers, right? And so take that, and you have to get the dot at real Donald Trump in there, and probably at POTUS too, dot at, and you got to get 4 dank memes, right? 4. You get 4 slots, 4 dank memes. 4. Okay? And try to make them relevant. Try to use hashtag, boom, red pill, Great Awakening, the Great Awakening, my bad. Where we go one, we go all as WWG. Oh, shite. Bro, I'm so face melted. All right, so moving on, you got, other big ones like, Hillary Clinton is great to target. We're trying to set the stage, right? So if you target her repetitively, I do Barack Obama all the time. And then also we're targeting these people that are the ISIS terrorists, right? So at Soccer Muaz, Ray Chandler taking her down, the person who wrote that Q conspiracy theory about Trump being a genius conspiracy theory, all that bullshit, targeting them, this child trafficking atrocity, all this stuff, right? And make sure that you get the @real Donald Trump in there. Make sure that you get a lot of these relevant, like the Great Awakening hashtags in there. Load it to the brim. You get 200 characters. So you get your main message in there, like, whoever you're targeting, and then you get as many hashtags as you can fill it with after you've, of course, guaranteed that the @real Donald Trump's in there, and 4 dank memes, right? And then try to promote it. And yeah, I think that's about a wrap. It's pretty simple. Just dank memes, load them up, hashtags, load them up, try to keep them relevant. We're using different hashtags all the time to target different people. Also, you can get in trending, right? Like the top trending at that moment or for the day are great. There's peak times that you can try to Twitter twat at. Also, you can try to target the people with very high followings. Like I said, Justin Bieber, right? We're going to get the list of top 100 Twitter handles of people to kind of blast. We got other people that we're going to target that are basically like, the terrorist kind of thing. So we're going to have channels for that. Sectioned off for school. I don't know. Work on that. And like, I'm great. One is huge. I think it's actually with the capital Q, capital A, Anon. Hashtag The Great Awakening. Hashtag Fake News is huge. Internet Bill of Rights. HRC video. Those are huge. Huge.
All right, good info, man. Thank you. Yeah, I always would send the tweets to Trump, and I would send him like memes and stuff, like positive stuff to him and Don Jr. and stuff. But I never thought to do it to the actual in that way,
100%. This is going to be the next step of our attack, basically, because not only are we pushed for the IBOR and all that big stuff, and now we're pushing for, the Internet Bill of Rights. Well, stuff, delete Facebook, all that good stuff. But we're also using it to target terrorists and stuff like that, and child traffickers and all that good stuff. The main thing behind it, though, is when you target people that aren't, say, red-pilled, and you have some dank memes in there, it catches their attention, causes cognitive dissonance, and basically will eventually change their mind, or they'll at least be like, what the fuck is up with my life? And either way, that's a good thing for us. They need to start questioning stuff and learning how to disseminate the truth for themselves, because there is no real news anymore, right? There's only maybe semi-reliable sources that you can kind of take it for what it is and just decipher for yourself if it's the truth or not, But if you target people that don't have followings that are, say, red-pilled, like Ellen DeGeneres or Justin Bieber, that kind of thing, right? Huge. And especially when you get into a big group of people to all retweet each other, it is. So make sure that happens. Twitter war is huge. We're going to keep working on people that we need to target and that kind of thing.
Dude, John Cusack on Twitter is like every hour he's going off on Trump.
Those who scream the loudest have the most to hide.
Yeah, he started screaming real loud right after the Cusack connection Q post.
We were on a real hot streak for a while there. I was lighting up Barack Obama, and after Barack Obama, it would come up. It was getting so many retweets, from the other channel when we were doing it there. It was getting so big that it would literally be its baby. And it was some horrible, horrible dank memes. Good night, Apache. Thank you tomorrow, man. Thank you so much for your work tonight, bro. Hey, Jodo, you're going to be able to send those over to Numerif, though, later when we're done, and he'll be able to break them apart and put them up? Or maybe, he can put them up, too.
Yeah. I'm going to cut it down like in another half hour. I'll cut it down, then I'll send it to him.
Oh, you can do that yourself, the cutting and stuff? That's awesome, bro. You guys are great.
I got you, bro. I got you. I've been streaming the whole day since 2 o'clock, so it's going to be a long stream.
For sure. And we could just cut off because I know we did a couple pretty good, like one really great, the other one pretty good. We just have, at least I wasn't quite prepared with the source as well, the storyboard and all that, but we'll be knocking them out pretty well. We have it, the general idea now, and especially if we can just go back in and cut it out, bro, that'd be so easy. You know what I'm saying?
I got you, bro. I got you.
So did you see the ideas that I had though for the short recap videos as far as like outro, intro, that kind of thing, the overall like goals and kind of like limits?
Oh yeah, that's perfect for the videos, bro. That's really perfect.
Yeah, I thought that, if we have maybe a channel kind of intro or outro like they do on like radio channels or whatever, like that kind of thing would be great.
Make like a dope ass intro.
Hell yeah, bro. Like Home of the Boom, something freaking awesome. You know what I mean? We got some dank memes. I mean, you're awesome. You're on fire.
Yo, just imagine if we turned that Donald Trump speech into like a music theme, bro. Wouldn't that be dope?
The Donald Trump meme into a what?
The Donald Trump speech into a music thing.
Hell yeah. To an audio clip?
Like have him singing like into an audio clip. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Boom. What do you mean, Stormfag? I'm just talking about wrapping up the focused videos, because if we do short content focused, videos, I think that'd be great for getting the message out. A lot of people don't have that much time to just sit and watch videos. So that's why I thought the first one was better, because there was a lot more, boom, boom, blow and sourced and stuff. And we also got to add, the source material on the bottom of the links for the video. But if we just start knocking out these really good short videos, it'll get the word out faster than I talk, bro, for sure.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. But like before we start a video, like we need to like get together and like research it. Then we could do the video and do our thing. Like a focus day, like we used to do. That way we can work on content, have everything ready. Then we could just go in and knock it out real quick. Boom, 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 and that's it. Keep it going.
100%. I think that's what she was getting at is, making sure that our storyboard's down proper first, though, like in order and kind of things that we kind of slacked on this time. Right, Stormfag? That's what you meant? Me too. Dang, so we so where do we go from here? What videos do you think we should do next? Do you guys have the picture of the video list? Yeah, I'll take the picture. I updated it. I'll drop like top, bro. So I just dropped it. Let me know when or what movies we should do next. What ideas, you know? And we've already knocked out Q Post 9 through 11:20. That's quite a bit. Oh dang glare. Oh, we can make that short little video about the educational things. Do we have? Oh, we don't have the proofs for the Amin Ra stuff, huh? About saying, you know, Amim, or you know, just general things about, you know, that or good versus evil. This is not a religious thing, or it's just a spiritual good versus evil. You know, could bring up those Q posts and source it, and then you know, drop the you know what I mean on them. I think that'd be pretty cool to knock out a video that like everybody. So a short little video for everybody. Oh, the SES is a good one too. Yeah, we got to do a big dig on the local level, right? And the different groups that they're in, right? Like justice, patents, tech. I was trying to lead groups on that on the other channel. I forgot about that. Should we do it on Maria Abramovich?
I think a couple of lead ups to that one would be important because that's such a big boom.
Maria Abramovich, we'll do that. Maybe one on some good Clinton emails, like the new batch.
Those pictures are awful.
That's crazy. Why would that be breaking news?
Because they got nothing else to report on, bro.
And is she a target? What? Mic check.
You're good.
I am Pi. Fear me.
So it's just information and maybe to watch out, because on the Russian TV interview, her cousin wanted to come to the UK and they wouldn't give her a visa, and she's going to return to Russia. Will she manage to make it back?
So she's actually going back to Russia?
I think she wants to, because she wants to see her family.
But at the same time, we got to remember that the target was the father.
So she's either on a mission or she's cut a deal.
Well, all I've observed in life is if people want to attack me, they attack my daughter.
I don't understand how these people can go to these damn parties and eat something like that. Like, what the hell is going through their head, man? Even though that look like red velvet cake, but still.
So are you saying it's done, the message has been sent, and now this guy is under control?
I never did any digging into what he was working on while he was over here, but I did see questions about his connection between Chris and Mike Steele.
Lay it on us.
good. No, I'm good. No. No.
Yeah, I found a couple things. Russian spy Sergei Skripal was close to Chris Steele.
You think he had something to do with that document thing?
Trump dossier. Fusion GPS. Field McConnell met with him 23rd of March. And remember, people, Trump needed that dossier to flush out the other side. So don't be thinking that was necessarily a bad move.
The problem with that thing is now you see how they're using it to their advantage. You see this Mueller probe and his witch hunt. And like today they went and raided the lawyer's office, which they had no reason to do that whatsoever. But they're gonna get there today.
Guys, I'm halfway through a Bible dig, and it's fascinating.
Did you want to share it after you're done?
Yeah, I'm going to just share a little bit now. So essentially what I've done is I've taken the books of the Bible in the Jewish order, and I've looked up in order every 5:5 verse.
Wow.
So I'm going to read you just what it says. So it goes like this. Adam's days, 930. Pharaoh said, the people may rest for their burdens. He will release and he will realize and confess. Unintended sin is pardonable. Listen, Israel, I was between God and you at the time, Yeshua, but you were afraid of fire and did not go up the mountain. You don't need to be circumcised the mountain melted before the Lord, as did the sin of all before God. Neither the priests of Dagon in Ashdod to this day. In Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7.5 years, and in Jerusalem reigned 33 over all Israel and Judah. And Judah and Israel lived safely, each man under his vine and under his fig tree, from Dan even to Beersheba, all the days of Solomon. I know, king of Syria, vineyard, hedge taken away, it will be eaten up, broken down, it will it will be eaten down, broken down, its wall will be trod down. I shall get myself the great man and will speak to them, for they have known the way of the Lord and the judgment of their God, but these have altogether broken the yoke, burst loose. Thus says Adonai the Lord, this is Jerusalem. I have set it in the midst of the nations and countries that all around her, and she rebelled against my judgments more wickedly than the nations, and against my statutes more than the countries that are around her. For these have refused my judgments, my statutes. So that's up to Ezekiel 5:5. And that's just reading Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel. I'm going to keep going.
All right.
It's weird how it makes sense, though.
Perfectly, man.
I heard the way.
I'm wondering if you could do the same thing with 11:11.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, that's interesting because just off memory, Genesis 11 is about the first generation after Noah. And Yeshua said, and in these days it will be as of the days of Noah. I'm going to read you Genesis 11:11 if somebody else wants to do that while I do 5:5. And Shem, here we go, and Shem lived 500 years after he begot Arphaxad, and he begot sons and daughters. Interesting that in Genesis that looks like two different bloodlines to me, Adam and Shem. Question.
Shem was Noah. That's where the word Semite comes from. There was Ham, Shem, and Japheth.
Did you want Genesis 1:11?
Hey guys, when they're talking about smiles with the McStain picture, that place that they're in front of is Smile Cafe and Bistro.
Boom.
Gross. I mean, boom.
Boom. And hey, if you guys if you go to Twitter, fun experiment, type in soccer Moaz, right? And dang, I'm like 6 down, homie. That's what I was telling you guys about. If you target like Barack Obama, I was targeting. If you target them and you get a few retweets, boom, you be at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Right on, man. That's great.
That's how we get.
Falls right in, huh?
Exactly. That's how we get. That's how we play the game. I mean, this is one of the first ways just to get people to wake up and to get people as pissed as we are. So that they kind of are active. I think what we're aiming towards, or going to be ending up in, is a bunch of people that are going to be involved in their local community. We're going to be actually involved. Something that kind of has fallen off. Everybody's kind of stayed indoors with the AC and roll up their windows. But yeah, this is one of the huge tactics as far as getting attention to these people. And it's going really well. You find a lot of truthers in that process too, by just going and typing in whoever we're attacking, whether it's Ray Chandler or whatever, and all these. I just looked up also like Michelle in Brooklyn, who's the bitch that wrote that bullshit article about Q being a conspiracy theory. If you see all these other people that are with QAnon that are targeting these guys, and not only are they already targeting them, so they're probably pretty up on the Q. But you figure out good other QAnon followers to follow, and then they'll probably refollow you, and it helps get the message out, Almighty unite. Where we go one, we go all. And I hope that you guys all can plug the live stream and these videos and stuff, the channel. Be great. Get some more people over here. Good ones, like you guys. Oh, that's fucked up, Ron. Oh, my God. Oh. That's boom.
That is good.
Oh, my God.
Pepe Stephen Hawking, that's nice.
No,
what's going on? Is Redank around, or is he asleep?
What's up, Broseph?
No, fuck all. So, did you finish the storyboard and all that? Have you finished live stream?
Well, we're still alive, but I think we are at least. But we killed the FB Facebook downward spiral with MZ stocks and donations, and the ISIS McStain situation, I think, pretty well in Syria, and post 10:59 through 11:20. And then I also made a short video on a Twitter tutorial, which is kind of short, and we could cut those into 3 videos basically, and the live stream, which we could leave as the remainder chunk. and upload all those videos to the new channel, bro. Because you got the login, right, Numerith?
Yeah, I got it. Well, do you want to? Is Jodo around? Do you want to tell him to stop the live stream then, and then I can get it and start splitting it up?
He's here.
You want me to send it to you right now?
Is it still going?
Yeah, he said it's still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
Well, I don't know if I'll be able to download it if it's still live streaming. You'll have to finish it, stop the live stream, and then I should be able to download it, and then I can split it up into sections.
Yeah, I was gonna stop it right now. I was gonna send it to you already as a file.
Boom, you guys were on. Hey, Jodo, you didn't get hungry again after all that sushi, did you?
Bro, I didn't even get to eat, my man. That's how bad it was. Like, the cooking part ain't the bad part. It's just the cleaning up part and all that shit, bro.
You didn't get to eat?
No, man. Listen, I work with a staff and it's like me and 3 other guys, and I gotta prep and I gotta go here and do so much shit.
You're a beast, bro.
Easy money, bro. Better than being working for somebody.
So you had to pay that still, though, to not eat?
I got paid.
Oh, that's what you got paid. Okay.
No, I paid that to the guy. I got paid, bro.
Oh, okay. I got you.